How can you make your boring game, which looks like this, look like this? With the power of shaders, of course. Let me go ahead and show you how you can add this visual distortion effect, chromatic aberration, leverage the use of framebuffers through SubViewports, as well as some cool bonus visual effects. I'll try to explain the concept, the math behind it, as well as the implementation in code. So let's get started. First thing that we need to understand are framebuffers. I plan on making a full video on framebuffers themselves, so I won't go too deep into it today. But basically, when you are rendering something on the screen, data that needs to be rendered on screen is stored in a framebuffer. When using a graphics API like OpenGL or Vulkan, you can create your own framebuffers. Why? Well, for the off-screen rendering. To put it more simply, some renders require multiple passes before the final outcome gets on the screen. All of that intermediate data gets passed around framebuffers, and only once everything is done and everything is calculated, the final result gets shown on the screen. At least to my knowledge, there is no off-the-shelf way for you to create your own custom framebuffers in Godot without messing with the source code directly. But that's where SubViewports come in. We can leverage the power of framebuffers and achieve certain effects using the SubViewports. So we can make a simple hierarchy like this. So our SubViewport contains our super simple 2D game inside of it. That SubViewport gets rendered as a texture of a sprite 2D, which we just put over our whole screen. And our final canvas layer, which contains UI elements, just gets slapped on top of everything. With this setup, we can essentially nest shaders one within another. So our regular 2D game can contain shaders and effects on its own, and in our second pass, when it gets rendered in a 2D sprite texture, we can apply additional shader on top of that texture, effectively having another shader layer to work with. So with framebuffers out of the way, let's talk about our distortion shader first. It's just a combination of three really basic concepts. First is Cartesian to polar coordinate conversion, second one is a fracture, and third is chromatic aberration. Cartesian coordinates are simply described by their x and y positions, whereas polar coordinates are described with a radius of a circle and an angle that they make with the x-axis. Formula for conversion from Cartesian to polar is relatively simple. Radius of a circle is a simple Pythagorean theorem, while the angle is equal to arctangent of y over x. Thankfully, in Godot shader language, both of these functions are built in already. So for the radius, we can simply use the length function, and for angle, we can simply use a10 function. So as a general practice, on top of our code, we'll just calculate the aspect ratio first, which we'll need to account on later. Next is our conversion formula. As we said, we have a circle radius, which we obtain from the length function, and we have our angle, which we obtain from the a10 function. And that's basically it. Only reason the shaders look more complicated than this is because we want more control over it. So we want to offset a bunch of things and influence the intensity of a bunch of things. So we just add a bunch of uniform variables that we can tweak around to get different results. If we try this shader out on our game, we encounter our first problem with it, which is texture repetition. Our texture keeps wrapping around, which doesn't seem like a problem when you're just looking at a simple texture. But since our whole game is a texture, it means objects in our game will also be repeated on the sides. This causes problems and confusion, so we want to go around this. Quick and simple fix is a fracture concept. If we just multiply our y coordinate with some value, we can influence how much our texture is repeating in that direction. So simply in our case, we can just multiply the y coordinate with 1/2 to reduce the number of times our texture is repeating on y. And that's all there is to this distortion effect. But as we've seen in our previous example, we do have this amazing chromatic aberration effect. And how do we achieve that? So just picture it like this. Our image has 4 channels, red, green, blue, and alpha. To achieve our chromatic aberration effect, we want to slightly offset these channels. In my case, I chose to offset the red channel in the positive X direction and offset the blue channel in the negative X direction. By offsetting, I mean sampling the texture at a slightly offset position. But since we don't want our game to be constantly under this effect, we can use a uniform variable. We can set this uniform variable from the CPU side inside of a GD script, and we simply interpolate it using tweens. We set a higher value upon collision and then just slowly reduce it back to 0 over time. To extend this further, let me show you how additional effects are applied. So upon that same collision, we swap the background with the randomized texture from a pool, and we apply this shader on top of that texture. Besides choosing a random texture, we also randomize the uniform variables upon that collision, which significantly influences how the texture itself looks like. And in our second pass, we get our distortion and chromatic aberration, which just looks super trippy. And at the end, instead of just going back to normal, we interpolate variables using tweens once again, so it slowly reduces back to 0. I really love the way this shader looks, so I wanted to use it in other places as well. So exact same shader gets used on our time wells, but with different uniform values and transparent textures this time. If you like these shaders, I'll leave them in the description, but please know that I haven't optimized them for general purpose at all. They were written for this game specifically. You'll probably have to tweak some things around to get them working, but you can always feel free to reach out to me for help. That would be everything I wanted to cover today, and thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider donating, as it would greatly help me allocate more time to making videos like these in the future.